Hello! While we're in the kitchen today, I just want to give you a quick tour of what our kitchen looks like because we have a lot of different sections of our kitchen that's made our life extremely easy, and I just want to share this with you. So this first area here is a rack where we have a lot of quart jars and double quart jars, and we keep nuts and seeds and bulk items in here. So for example, like across the top here, we keep a lot of our favorite nuts and seeds, and we'll go ahead and throw those in granolas or in trail mixes. Over here we have all of the different parts of a cacao plant. We're obsessed with cacao. So we have, like, for example, these are cacao nibs, and we swap those out with chocolate chips and anything that needs chocolate chips. We have our homemade, what is this? Oh, a hot chocolate powder, but that's kind of irrelevant because it's the summertime. Normal cacao powder, cacao beans. This is what they look like right when they come off of the plant. We don't use those as much because they're super bitter, but the point is it's just really nice bulk items. On the second layer here, we have a bunch of medicinal mushrooms. So we'll include these in different teas. This isn't like hibiscus. We also put that in tea. And then here's ginger. Crystallized ginger is phenomenal for stomach aches and it really improves digestion. And so we love taking that. Different dates and some sprouted almonds for snacking on. And then down here we keep, like, for example, almond flour, bulk seeds, chia seeds, quinoa, and here's like kind of the overflow with more quinoa and some nutritional yeast. So that's the method we use. When we buy in bulk, we'll just, from Costco or order online, we'll just make sure these are filled up. And then if there's any extra, we put that in the pantry. So next up, I'll show you the refrigerator really quick. So here's the fridge. One thing that we really like to use are these like restaurant style containers. I have no idea where you'd find these. And actually they're not my top recommendation because they're not air sealed, so they do let air in and out. But like this is some hummus we made earlier out of, what kind of seeds are they? Sunflower seeds and sun-dried tomatoes. Super delicious hummus. I'll have that with veggies or on top of one of these gluten-free waffles if I want like a savory waffle thing. And then we just keep tons of fruits and vegetables that are already washed and prepared. Fast food is the key. Mankind, we just love fast food, and so the more we can pre-prepare our food to begin with, the faster it is to access and the more likely we are to eat it. So like here's some celery, and that's already chopped up and soaking in water, so that ensures that it's always going to be crispy. And then yeah, we just pre-wash most of our stuff so it's really accessible and more likely to use it. Make sure you eat it though, because you don't want to wash everything enough that it molds, but it's just one way to make it faster. So that's the refrigerator. And then over here, a bunch of our homemade salad dressings. So we like using a lot of balsamics. We also make our own mayonnaise with almonds, and that's really good too. Now I'm excited to show you this part. This is our spice cabinet. So in the spice cabinet, we use these little pint jars, and we also refill these with bulk items. So we get a lot of our herbs from a company called Herbally Grounded out of Las Vegas. They sell really high quality bulk herbal products, but you can just go wherever your local distributor is. We cook with so many spices in our home because they're so healthy for you and they taste amazing. And so, for example, a lot of people have heard of turmeric. It's an anti-inflammatory, phenomenal for weight loss and decreasing inflammation and pain in the body. Cumin is really good for nausea, but I just like it because it smells good, and it's kind of a combination of like Middle Eastern and Mexican food. Oregano, this is a huge antiviral and an antibiotic naturally, an immune booster. And so, but we mostly just cook that for like the Italian dishes, garlic, pepper, all of these different herbs have different medicinal properties in them. And so it's not just delicious tasting, it's also very healthy for you. So we love cooking with those, and it makes every meal a little bit more interesting. Do you know basil can help relax you? It's a relaxant, so that's always fun. And then here are the spice blends that we make ourselves. And so we just keep these up here because they're more accessible. So Italian spices, taco seasoning. We make this really good grill spice blend. You can put these on veggies or anything that you want to grill. And then over here, we're just soaking some almonds. So you see this residue, how the water is getting kind of gross. That's why you want to rinse your almonds and rinse anything as you're soaking them, because they're releasing enzyme inhibitors and they're just entering growth mode. And so you want to make sure you're rinsing those out so that you're not consuming it. So definitely we love soaking our like different almonds and all the different nuts before we eat them, nuts and seeds, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, anything. But make sure you rinse them really well before you eat them. And then we also have our kombucha back here. So kombucha is actually really easy to make. I always thought it was hard and complicated, but I learned that you can actually start the process in about 15 minutes, and then it just takes anywhere from 4 days to 2 weeks to ferment, and then you have a wonderful natural probiotic. So the videos on how to do that are in the Human Body Master Guide. Yeah, we show how you can make a bunch of different types of kombucha in that. Okay, this is one of my favorite drawers in the house. This is our superfood, not drawers, cabinet. So the nice part about having a superfood cabinet is that when it's time to make your smoothies in the morning, so for example, here's our blender. So you can grab this, throw it down your base of fruit or whatever you want. We have a whole frozen fruit section in our freezer. We keep all of our fruits up here on top. And then we come over here to the superfood cabinet, and we don't always put the superfoods in fruit smoothies. Like my mom makes golden milk every morning, and she puts all of her medicinal mushrooms in her golden milk. So like lion's mane, phenomenal for restoring brain function and memory loss. So all of our clients that, for example, like had done drugs in the past and it really messed up their cognitive thinking abilities, or they're suffering with memory loss or a lot of brain fog, lion's mane has helped so many of them. And we'll usually put about a teaspoon of that in our smoothies. I know my mom also puts in some shaga. I think there's some reishi. You see the reishi back there? Reishi. Here's some nutritional yeast. We just mostly put this on like quinoa and anything else you want to taste cheesy. And then we have some green powders. Goji berries are phenomenal. When I was living in Taiwan, this was a very common ingredient in Chinese medicine for their teas. I forget what goji berries do, but I just know they're great for you. So cacao powders, hemp seeds, really high in healthy fats and different vitamins and minerals. Pumpkin seeds, we put these in every smoothie ever made for a male in our house because pumpkin seeds are phenomenal for the male prostate. So I'm sure they have medicinal properties that are healthy for women as well, but they're very good for men. And most people that come into our clinic to get tested using biofeedback technology, they always test very positive for pumpkin seeds. So they actually are very delicious in a smoothie, and they keep you fuller for longer. If you're looking to make your smoothies make you more full for longer, throw some nuts in, throw a handful of walnuts in, or throw some different seeds in to make it thicker and more protein rich and more rich in fat, healthy fat. So anyway, and then chia seeds, and then we have some protein powder if you want to like flavor a smoothie with vanilla flavoring or whatever. So that's our superfood cabinet. Oh, and then I've been supplementing with collagen lately because I've been doing a lot of trail running, and all of the impact on my joints, it kind of has been hard on my knees. So I've been supplementing with collagen because it's really good for your joints. Oh, and there's spirulina. Okay, anyone who thinks you can't get tons of protein on a raw food or superfood based diet, boom, look up spirulina. This stuff is packed in minerals and vitamins and packed in protein. Phenomenal for you. So love that stuff. And then here's our little supplement cabinet. So here's where we will have our like vitamin C and zinc and iodine. I take iodine almost every day. It's really improved my energy levels and helped me. I think it's boosted my metabolism as well, actually. I felt like I'm getting in shape faster with it. And then, lastly, look, we're growing sprouts right now. So we don't always grow sprouts. We buy them a lot of times, but when we want to make sprouts ourselves, it's actually very easy. Sorry if the camera's been like so close to my face this whole time. I should be holding it back. There you go. Oh, okay. So with sprouts, I know there's like fancy ways to do this. We do it like the really simple way. So I'll just show you. You buy like a quart jar, and then there's like these sprouting tops on top that let water in and out. So the first day you put the seeds in and you just let it soak for a whole day. And then after that, you're just going to start rinsing it. And we typically rinse them about 3 times a day because we live in the desert and they dry out. And even if you don't live in the desert, you don't want it to start molding. So I'm just filling this up here. And we keep them right by the sink to remember to do this. This grew up to there within about two to 3 days, so they've been growing really fast. This kind's taking a bit longer, so the type of sprout you use will change how fast it does it. But I'll just kind of mix that around, and then you just dump it upside down, and it's so simple. And then that way it makes sure that they're getting all the moisture that they need. And yeah. Sprouts are one of the most nutrient-dense foods for you on the face of the planet. One of my friends who was a superfood bodybuilding athlete, so he was a raw food chef who was an athlete, and he would always talk about the importance of sprouts because they're so high in protein and vitamins and minerals. And he said he really believed, and he read like in some book, this was one of his philosophies in the raw food world, is that a single handful of sprouts could have more nutrients that are bioavailable to your body than a whole car full of cooked food, is what he would always say. So I always remembered that, and I like putting sprouts in my smoothies or on my salads or in sandwiches, just because they have a lot of bioavailable nutrients in them. They're in growth mode. And then lastly, this is our fast food section. So there's almost always I promise I did not plan this, but there's almost always fruit and a knife on the table because, and if you have fruit flies, maybe this is a less good idea, but we've been doing this our whole lives, even when we lived in Wisconsin, and yes, we had lots of fruit flies. But we just kept that out because it's like fast food. It's like you come into the kitchen, you just want a snack, just cut off a bite of an apple or something, or you grab a piece of fruit. That's always been our fast food option. So, okay. I think that, last place would be the pantry. I wrote this on here. It says, in this kitchen, we lick the spoon. And then when quarantine started, or the coronavirus thing, I just put temporarily suspended because no sharing germs anymore. Okay, so here is our pantry, and this probably looks really normal for pantries, but there's just a couple things in here I wanted to show you. And that is down here is where we have a lot of our bulk items. And so, here is Mom's gluten-free, this is it, baking mix. Here we have black beans. I don't know if you can see it there. But yeah, black beans, sprouted buckwheat. I think those are chickpeas. Maybe there's almond flour down here. And so we just keep our bulk items down there. Here's our dehydrator. Looks like we just dehydrated the pulp from juicing. We got a new juicer and it's amazing. What's it called? Breville. Do you see it? Okay. Breville is literally the new love of our life. It is so fast. It gets out almost all of the juice. And then we take the pulp when it's done and we dehydrate it. And then we keep it in a quart jar. We keep it in one of these, and then you can include it in soups. This is if you're really hardcore, okay? So if you're watching this and already thinking we're totally out of our minds, you can save dehydrating your juice pulp for another day. But this you can add to soups and things like that if you want. Otherwise you can just toss it in the compost or in the garbage. And then, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Here's the rest of it, but it's just normal bulk items. We like these chips because they're apparently grain-free and paleo, but all right, I think that concludes the kitchen tour. So thank you for joining us. I just want to say, if this seems like a lot and you're like, whoa, that's a lot. We really just started implementing these things step by step, and people taught us how to do it. So people taught us how to juice, and they taught us how to sprout, and they taught us how to order in bulk, and they taught us how to use superfoods. And step by step, these things just became part of our normal routine. And it's really blessed our lives because we have a lot of energy, and we don't suffer with a lot of food cravings or digestion problems. And so it's been a huge blessing. So I just want to encourage you, if you're watching this, just pick a couple things that you want to start implementing. I love the whole bulk thing with the quart jars. As soon as I move out of the house, the first cabinet I'm going to prioritize is my superfood cabinet, because superfoods they're called a superfood because they bridge the gap between food and medicine. They have a medicinal effect on the human body. They affect metabolism. They affect energy levels. They affect digestion. They affect your hormones. Maca powder. I didn't mention maca powder, but that's amazing for any woman or man that's dealing with a lot of stress or their adrenals are fatigued. It's huge for that. So just implement things step by step, but you got this, and we love you. Last couple things I forgot is this is our tea section. I just saw it now. So this is our little honey jar. Look at our little honeybee. And so we go through a quart jar of honey. We probably go through a quart jar every 2 to 3 weeks. So we throw the honey on top of homemade granolas or in teas and things like that. And then we just keep this hot thing because you can heat up water really fast. So and then last but not least, if you need a cookbook, this is my family's cookbook. You can order that online. But that's got tons of good recipes in it too. So good luck with everything. You got this. And I would love to hear in the comment section what things you've implemented in your kitchen in the past and in the future that's just made your kitchen one of the best rooms in your whole house. Have fun.